Recording in progress.
You guys were recording? All right. So just to review, guys, quiet please. Just to review, when you reflect over the x-axis, the variable a or the constant a determines if the graph reflects over the x-axis. So if a were negative, you flip. A is positive, don't flip. So if that makes sense. Vertical shift, D represents a vertical shift. We're going to talk about that today. The D that's at the end of the equation, that's going to represent the vertical shift. And remember, B is the period. 2 pi over B is period. We're doing that today. But we're just going to review some stuff that we've done already, and then I'll incorporate D. Okay, so that's just kind of an overview of what A, B, and D represents. A represents the reflection. Also, it represents the amplitude as well. We know this. D represents, again, vertical shift, which you guys have seen in other classes, like with quadratic functions and other functions from Algebra 2. And again, period's 2 pi over B. So let's do the graph right here. What's my amplitude for example 1?
Wait, what?
Amplitude for example 1?
Oh, -2.
Actually, you're gonna say +2.
Yeah, wait, is that what you were saying by
It's gonna always be the absolute value, but you're always gonna reflect. Because A is negative.
Okay, so if it's sin, and the amplitude is like 4,
Mhm.
I'm supposed to start at 4.
No, you start at the origin, but you go up to 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, period. B is 1. So a period is gonna be 2 pi. Because B is 1. Because you don't see a number next to X, right? So you assume B is 1 when you don't see a number next to a variable. And so yeah, 2 pi over B is period, you just get 2 pi. Okay. Cool so far? Good. All right. So I'm gonna move the screen down just a tad. And let me adjust this. Okie dokie. Let's do it. So I'm gonna put 1, 2, -1, -2. All right. Now, guys, quiet, please. It's cosine. You're going to start at the peak or the low point. Which one will it be, peak or low point? Yeah, you're going to do the low point because...
So the amplitude's still 2, but you start at -2.
Yeah, you're going to start at -2, exactly.
What does that say start out?
Peak or low point? Now, if you plug in 0, what's going to happen? Well, it's cosine 0. That's using the instrument. Cosine 0 is 1. -2 times 1 is -2. So it makes sense for starting 0, -2. So I did a quick check. Plug in 0 just to see that, yeah, is it really starting at -2 for y? Yeah, it is. Because you plug in 0 for x, you get -2. Again, you could use unit circle. That's totally fine. Remember, you need 5 key points. 5 key points. So, and also the period is 2 pi, so we're going to end at the same place. So where do you think the other points are going to be? Based on how we expect cosine. At pi over 2, what would be the y coordinate at pi over 2?
0.
0. What would be the y coordinate at pi?
2.
And the y coordinate at 3 pi over 2?
0.
0 again. Excellent. And there's your graph. Why? How do I know it's going to end here? Because the period is 2 pi. Period means that it repeats itself, right? When the period ends, it repeats itself, right? So like, we go from 11 to 110, and then we go to another past 120 to 235, right? So it's another thing to have another cycle. You have another thing from passing up, right? Kind of the same thing. Okay. And that reflected. Okay, vertical shift. Here's where the fun begins. Now we're going to start doing some little wacky stuff. Okay, A is 3, B is 2, D is 1. Okay. There is a letter C, by the way. That's a horizontal shift. We're not going to do that in this class. So don't worry about that. If you ever are curious about it, talk to me later. All right. So A is 3, B is 2, and D is 1. So the amplitude is going to be 3. What's the period going to be, guys?
Pi.
Yep. Very good. Remember, period's 2 pi over B. So that's why it's pi. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do. So what this means, we have to shift the D of 1. You have to shift 1 up. Okay. You have to shift 1 up. What's happening is that, why do you have to put 4 here and -2 here? Let's think about it. If I plug in 0, correct. What's cosine 0? Maybe that's 1, right?
1.
What's 3 times 1?
3.
And 3 plus 1, 4. The plus 1 causes the graph to move up 1. What I like to do, actually, and it's kind of a weird term, but other teachers use this too, so I don't feel too weird saying it. I like to call this a midline. So there's kind of a middle to this graph, right? Usually the midline's on the x-axis, but it's not anymore because we did plus 1. So everything rises by 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to start the graph at 0, 4. So when I plug in 0, I got 4. And you're going to end the graph in the same place. Not for x, but for y.
Why did you end it at 2 pi instead of just pi? Oh,
you're right. Good call, JP. Good looking out. Sorry, my bad. Ending at pi. My apologies. Good call. Unlike Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Good thing his kids don't go here. So now, how are you going to graph this? You're going to graph it like this.
Why are you going down in -2?
Because originally the low point was going to be at -3, but got shifted up 1.
No, it's positive.
Yeah, but it goes up.
This is at -2. Okay, so we started here. We'll pull that right.
Yeah.
And we're ending here because of period time. So then I need 3 more points in the middle. So what I do is that I take these 3 coordinates that are equally spaced between 0 and 5. And the second point has to be in the middle. The last one has to be at the low point. So the third point is the low point. And the fourth point has to be back in the middle. So that's how the graph works. So let me label them. Yeah, exactly. So y equals 1 is my midline. And these coordinates here, that's going to be at pi over 2, comma -2. That's going to be at pi over 4. No, I'm just doing it for you guys, but no, not really.
Draw the midline on it.
If you feel help you. Yeah, and those are the other points, by the way, in case you're curious, is that pi over 4, comma 1, 3 pi over 4, comma 1. Originally, these were actually on the x-axis. The second and fourth points, but they moved up 1, right? Okay, we're good? You cool?
Oh, so there's no point on it.
I mean, there's points on the x-axis, but I'm not going to label it because it got shifted. All right, kind of clear? Yes, no?
I think this unit seems easier than the last one.
Could be. We'll see when we do 4-7. So, okay, we shall see. All right. All right. Okay, as a good practice, what I would do is I would identify A, B, and D before you get to graphing. As a good practice, just kind of get that out of the way.
So there's no D value, so we don't have to worry about it. And the amplitude is 3. Well, let me write that better.
So A equals -3, so the amplitude is always going to be positive.
Yep.
Wait, but can't you start at the cosine? Can you start from the negative?
We will, right.
And like, you know, it's
But still the amplitude is 3. Yeah. The period is going to be 2 pi here. Here amp is 4. And period is going to be pi. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And you don't have to label all the tick marks. If you label the highest and lowest, it's kind of implied they're separated by 1. Okay. Was what, sir?
That's why.
When y is 1.
That's a B.
Yeah, remember, we don't have b, right? Because we're related to ABD.
Talking about the A, so Y,
Y equals 1. We're talking about
the A is negative.
-3.
that's a B. That's a B.
That's b.
Remember what are our constants, Charlotte? It's A, B, D. I'm not. Y is not a constant, right? So what are we labeling here? I know my handwriting sucks. I apologize. But it's not. No. But don't put it this way. Don't take my writing too literally. It's A, B, D because remember, what's the general equation? It's in the top of the notes here, right?
A is the number being multiplied by sign. B is the number being multiplied by x. B is the number behind x. Yeah. I'm not putting y equals 1.
I mean, that wouldn't make sense. But yes, my handwriting stinks. I'll work on it. So okay. Thanks. All right. So let's move on. Okay. So let's see. The period is 2 pi. So first of all, it's cosine. So it's going to start down here. And the period's 2 pi, so it'll end right here. Does that make sense? If you're ever unsure,
Plug in 0, you should get -3. You plug in 2, 5, you also get -3. You need to just circle.
now, how many key points in the middle?
3.
3, right? So we have 3 key points in the middle. And you're just going to just plot them.
Do you go in between pi and the 3 pi and 2 for the B?
Wait, in between what? Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so it came out very nicely like that. And remember, we had to flip because A was less than 0. Right? We had to flip. Okay, let's try this again for the next one. Sine, you can start at the origin. And the period is pi, so you're going to end right here. Now, A is negative. So you have to flip. So you're going to go down. And then also we have to find 3 points in the middle. Right? So you go down, back to the middle, up. And here we go. And it, of course, it will repeat itself if you keep going. So we got the period and amplitude. We're good. Cool. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Try to move the screen. That's the other notes. Shoot, I can't find the other notes. That's all right. All right, we're good. Can I move the screen? All right. All right, now we got some one more complex. Okay, so remember A, B, and D. You guys tell me what those are.
D is negative.
Good. And what's D for the other one? Great. Okay, what's the A for the first one?
1.
And what's the B?
4.
And for the second one?
-2.
And B is 1. Great. Okay, so again, get that out of the way, ABD. Amplitude and period. Amplitude and period. Okay. Amplitude's 1 and 2. Period is going to be pi over 2 for this one. Yeah, it's gonna be really small. This is 2 pi.
Why would we 2 pi? Oh, yeah, yeah. You're on.
Midline will be y equals -2. Will be y equals 3. So it's good to get the midline out of the way too. Let's go ahead and label.
So would you mark down -6?
Yeah. Wait, no. Just -3. You'll see. I'm just gonna do a few tick marks. Just yeah, you'll see why. Hold on a sec here. Okay. So your midline is here. And this one, oh, darn it. Should have done this. Hold on, I kind of messed up here. Hold on a sec, let me fix this. Okay, cool. All right. So now, let's look at the first graph. It's sine, right? It's supposed to start at the now we're not going to start at the origin because our midline is now -2. Plug in 0. What sine is 0? We know 0. 0 minus 2 is -2. So you have to start from -2, not at the origin. Originally, you start at the origin, you didn't have the -2. Because of the shift to down, you're going to start -2 for y. And it's going to end at pi over 2, so it'll be right here. And we have to make 3 points in the middle. The amplitude is 1, and it's not flipped. Homework, always previous homework. No, you guys still need to practice this. You're not ready for this.
That's very much.
So here's the deal. Look back a little bit. Look back at.
Right. Okay, so why do we start here? Because instead of starting to origin, start 2 down. Plus we put in 0. And we're going to end with a period end. So put another point. Yeah, now let's talk about the middle, right? Now here's the deal with the middle. You have to have 3 more points, right? So it's sine, so it has to go up to its peak, back down to the middle, to its bottom, back to the middle. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So why wouldn't you go up to 1? Why? Oh, because you're just going up.
You're going up 1 unit. Exactly. Oh, you guys thought I should have gone up here? Yeah, we don't do that because that would change the amplitude then. Right? So that's what it looks like that.
And why does it go down to -3?
Because the amplitude's 1. And so our midline's at -2. So put it this way, guys. If your midline's -2 and amplitude's 1, you're going 1 above and 1 below. You have to go 1 above and 1 below. And so I'm just going to just move over here and plug in. Plus, it's good to get a different vantage point anyway. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, next one. It's cosine. Now you got the flip. You got to flip. It's cosine, so it's going to start at the low point. So I'm going to start down here. And the period's 2 pi, so I'll end it right here. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because if I plug in 0, cosine 0 is 1. -2 times 1, -2 plus 3 is 1. I'm going to start right there.
After positive one?
Yep. And then it ends at 2 pi, so I put 2 pi comma 1 as no point. Now remember, you have 5 key points. So I have the first and last, so I have to have 3 more in the middle.
You went down? Up.
I already started down because it's cosine. Because cosine always starts at the peak or its low point. So then it's going to start rising up, right? Yeah, totally. That's so the midpoint. Sorry, the midline was at 3 because we have D, and the amplitude's 2, but it's -2. So you start 2 below. Yeah, great observation. So if you take the midline, right, what you want to do is go the amplitude higher or lower. Whatever the amplitude is, you go higher or lower based upon whether it's negative or positive. And then you have this, this, and this. And there you go.
So like literally the midline, it's like the midline is basically.
Yep, exactly. Right. 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 Exactly. No, I'll keep it as an integer. Yeah. I'll keep it as an integer. Oh, no problem.
Okay, so how come you have 2 points both on the right?
Okay. These originally were going to be on the x-axis. And put them at +3 to shift it up. Because you may like that at y = 3. Thank you. All right. You guys quiet, please. We got more page to do. All right, we got 2 more graphs to do. Okay, ABD. ABD. A is going to be, well, A is -1, so you're going to flip.
What does that mean?
So instead of the cosine tradition, it looks like this.
Yeah, it would be the.
So it'll be the other way around. Yeah, that's what it means. B is 1 and D is 4. So my amp is 1. My period is 2 pi. You guys got it, 2 pi. Very good. D is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And from 4, I'm going 1 higher, 1 lower, right? Why am I going 1 higher, 1 lower from 4? Because the amplitude is 1. Exactly. Yes.
But it's negative. So what do you start?
You're gonna start bottom. You can start at the bottom. And you're gonna end in the same place. Okay, so are we okay with that? So the midline's 4, but because A is -1, we're gonna start 1 below 4. What's 1 below 4? 3. Plus plug in 0. You get 3. All right, you got 3 key points in the middle, which are already labeled for us very nicely. So you can go back to the middle, to the peak, back to the middle, and there you go.
How do you know the peak is 5?
Hits a high point of 5 because you have a +4. And the biggest cosine could ever be is 1. Because your amplitude's 1. So if it helps, guys, if it helps, try doing this. The peak. Let me put a little side note here. Actually, no, that's going to be weird. Let me do this instead. So the peak will be D plus absolute of A. The low point if that helps, that will be the low point. So wherever D is,
If you add it to absolute A, that's the high point. If you do D minus the absolute A, that'll be the low point. Because D was 4, the absolute A is 1. So if I add 1 to 4, I get 5. If I do 4 minus 1, I get 3. So it goes all the way down to 3 and all the way up to 5. And with 4 in the middle because of the D part. Well, amplitude is always positive. But because A is negative, the cosine travels a little differently. It starts actually lower than higher. All right, one more. Let's see here. Okay, A is -2. B is half. D is 0. Okay, what's our amplitude again?
2.
We say 2.
I mean, it might be.
And what's the period, guys? What's the period, guys? Well, B is 1/2. 4 pi.
What do you do if it's too big of a graph?
Yeah. So I'm gonna adjust this then. I'm just gonna cross these off. So yeah, we'll just do that. There we go. Let's cross them off. Right. All right, and then D is 0, but your amplitude's 2, so we're gonna go 2 above and 2 below the midline.
Midline is
0. Yep. Okay, so you have a point at the origin. Plus, if we plug in 0, you do get 0. And it's going to end the same place.
So if we get a D value of like -1, starting at negative.
Yep, you got it. Yep. Okay, it's flipped.
Wait, oh, it's 9.
Right. So you gotta start at the midline. Exactly. And then you have 3 key points in the middle.
Down to 2.
Mm-hmm. And there you go. There's graph. Okay, lastly, working backwards. And then we're done with these notes. Write the equation for a sine function, the amplitude of 3 and a graph period of 4 pi. Graphs also reflected. Oh, okay, there's a lot going on here. Okay, generally speaking, they look like this, right? Sine graphs look like this. Sine equations. So if it's reflected and amplitude is 3, what do you guys think A is going to equal? If the amplitude is 3 but it's reflected. Good, -3. Okay, vertical shift to down 2. D value is -2. Okay, we're 2/3 of the way there. Does that make sense? Because you said shift down, right? Yes, good. How do you know that? Yep, 4 pi. Solve for B, you will get 1/2 if you solve for algebraically. Done. Y equals -3 sine half x minus 2. Cool? It's good? Sorry, terrible looking 3. So, all right, we'll do one more. Okay, cosine. So same equation you can use, just same equation, just write cosine instead of sine. Same thing. Are we reflected? No. So what's A going to be? 1. D will be no. Oh, yes, B is 4. D is 3. Now, why is B 4? Because pi over 2. If you cross multiply, you should get pi B equals 4 pi. Pi is cancel. Right, B is 4. Equation, pretty easy.
y equals cosine of, yeah, 4x plus 3. Got it. Good. Okay, you guys are getting deeper in seeing how these behave. Good. All right, questions? Nope, okay. So homework number 9, I do need to, let me run, I'll just freeze the screen here so you guys can still copy. And we do a check-in. Let me, homework, I'm gonna make an adjustment. Okay. Number 1. You like this? Okay. 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You guys gonna skip numbers 3 through 6. So, and you guys already have it. I'm gonna post it to Schoology as well when I get a chance, which I should in the period. Okay, so for the check-in today,